Well, you don't always hear about them in New Mexico. A sinkhole swallowed up an SUV in northeast Albuquerque Saturday afternoon. It happened near Indian School in America's Parkway. Crews were able to remove the SUV and the driver was able to get out of the vehicle safely. The Water Utility Authority says the sinkhole was caused by a water main break and residents in the area can expect water outages and low pressure. Well, it's against the law, but nobody seems to care. Many people are driving through a closed road in the South Valley. Some of them are even moving traffic signs to do it. As News 13's Madeline Schmidt shows you, it proved to be a big inconvenience for one man.
A $3 million project to create a new storm drain system in Arnall has the road a bit messy and drivers doing illegal things. Only people who live in this neighborhood are okay to drive here. But today, we saw car after car after car go right on through.
Signs say it themselves, road closed, and you're not supposed to go through, but obviously people move them.
We even watched one woman move an orange barrel. John Marcus says it's because of people like her that he got in trouble last week.
As I was approaching the sign here, as you see behind me, there was no road closed sign, just the two orange signs.
As he passed through, Marcus was stopped by a Bernalillo County Sheriff's deputy for driving through the closed road.
I informed her I didn't see one, and she goes, yes, they move it out of the way.
That didn't stop her from giving him a ticket.
$80.
Residents say they've seen this deputy nabbing people, but don't think the tickets are working.
She'll pull one person over, but while she pulls person over, three go by her.
The county tells News 13 it's asking that neighbors cooperate with all road closures to keep everyone safe. And the sheriff's office says deputies will keep handing out tickets if they spot something illegal. But Marcus thinks that's not enough.
I think there should be better planning in place, maybe more signs, directions, detours.
Madeline Schmidt, KRQE News 13.
Marquez says he plans to take off a day from work to fight the ticket. He says it's not about the money, it's about making a statement to the county. Bernalillo County expects the construction phase of this project to wrap up in December. Canines were needed to bring an Albuquerque man armed with a fire poker into custody. Now, this is an update to a story we brought you yesterday morning. APD was out at this home near San Pedro and Zuni from 3 in the morning until around 10 a.m. Police say Michael O'Connor hit another man with a fire poker while trying to hit his girlfriend. That led to a SWAT standoff. APD arrested O'Connor in his front yard after a police dog took him down. Online court records show he was arrested for aggravated assault in May. A suspicious backpack shut down an intersection near Kirtland Air Force Base. Maxwell Gate at Gibson and Washington was closed down for a while on Saturday while APD's bomb squad investigated. APD says they cleared the bag and were able to reopen that intersection. Police say GPS helped them nab a pair of thieves. According to a criminal complaint, Bobby Dominguez and Craig Black were seen on surveillance video breaking into B&D Electrics in southeast Albuquerque. The pair hooked a cement mixer to a truck and drove off. APD used GPS in the truck to track the pair to a nearby home and arrested them. However, in court yesterday, Dominguez was set free.
Your Honor, we do recognize that there's a lack of criminal history as well as strong community ties for Mr. Dominguez. We also do recognize that these are non-violent felony charges. We recommend that Mr. Dominguez be released on his own recognizance.
Police estimate the two were found with close to $100,000 worth of loot. A man charged in a deadly home invasion of an MMA fighter has been indicted in a separate case. The Las Cruces Sun News reports a grand jury indicted 21-year-old Nathan Avalos earlier this week for aggravated assault and battery. According to the indictment, Avalos allegedly beat up his girlfriend. Authorities say Avalos was one of 4 men charged with invading the home of Joe Torres. One of Avalos' accomplices was stabbed during that altercation and died. A man accused of stabbing 2 San Diego firefighters has been ordered to stand trial. Now you can see the chaos captured on this body cam video. It happened last month when prosecutors say 34-year-old Ryan Allen Jones interfered during a medical call. When Jones started throwing punches, firefighters pepper sprayed him. That's when Jones retaliated. You can see Jones swinging a knife at firefighter Ben Vernon, stabbing him repeatedly.
I'm just like, whoa, did this just happen? And I could not. couldn't react.
Vernon's partner was also stabbed several times. Jones is charged with attempted murder and assault with a deadly weapon. We're now seeing video of a rescue off the coast of Texas in the Gulf of Mexico. A man on a shrimp boat had to be airlifted after he got extremely sick this week. The U.S. Coast Guard hoisted him from the boat and took him to a nearby hospital in Galveston for treatment. No word on the man's condition. New this morning, police in California are investigating the deaths of 5 people after they were found dead inside a home. Officers were conducting a welfare check yesterday afternoon at the home in Modesto, California, which is just south of Sacramento, when they say they found the bodies of 3 children and 2 adults. It's unclear how the people died. Investigators were going door to door yesterday looking for any possible witnesses. Neighbors were shocked to learn about what happened in what they say is a quiet neighborhood.
Yeah, it's really scary. It's really scary, and it just made my stomach really upset.
Police have named 30-year-old Martin Martinez a person of interest and are asking anyone with information to call them. Officials have not said if Martinez knew the 5 people or not. A San Juan County woman stabbed 24 times is in stable condition at a hospital. Detectives arrested A.J. Diaz late Friday night on attempted first-degree murder. Paramedics found the woman after they responded to reports of a woman falling out of a vehicle. Farmington police say they later found the 37-year-old victim's vehicle abandoned. Soon after, Diaz was identified as a person of interest. Police in Santa Fe are looking for this man who they say robbed the Dollar Mart on Airport Road at gunpoint Friday night. He's being described as anywhere from 5'6" to 5'9", husky, around 200 to 230 pounds. His face was covered and he wore a black beanie. We now know more about the Navy sailor who died yesterday after he was shot last week at a military support center in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Navy Petty Officer Randall Smith's family says he was initially wounded in Thursday's shooting and passed away yesterday. Now, 4 Marines were also killed in the incident and 3 others injured. Hundreds of people gathered outside the recruitment center to honor the fallen servicemen.
I cried this morning because it's so sad. It is just so useless and so sad.
FBI investigators are combing the scene for the 3rd day. Authorities say the gunman was Kuwait-born Mohammed Youssef Abdulaziz. He was shot to death by police. Farmington police may be the first police department in New Mexico to crack down on officers driving while distracted. The Daily Times reports that new software has been installed in most of the department's cars in the past month. The department says the software is designed to disable a patrol car's computer keyboard if the vehicle goes past 20 miles per hour, so an officer can't type and drive. Rio Rancho firefighters let us take a look as they completed fire training. They gathered at Intel yesterday afternoon. The department says the Intel parking garage is an ideal place for training. It's the only multi-level structure in the city and takes firefighters out of their day-to-day routine because of its size.
We're actually simulating a car fire up on the 2nd floor. It's given our responders a challenge into getting to that location.
The fire department says yesterday was also an opportunity for Intel to test its fire system. Another Summerfest is in the books. The party that shut down a section of Central brought in huge crowds yesterday. Thousands of people showed up despite the heat in the day and the rain at night. Crowds strolled Central, checking out classic cars, street performers, and chowing down. Residents say this is the perfect way to show off what Albuquerque is all about.
You see everyone from all walks of life in Albuquerque, and everyone's getting along, just real relaxed atmosphere, something fun to do.
Downtown Summerfest is next in line. That kicks off August 8th. Well, 2 men are behind bars for their roles in a brutal attack caught on camera. We warn you, some may find it difficult to watch. Police say a minor altercation in East Providence, Rhode Island last weekend escalated when 24-year-old Amorino Amaro knocked out one woman and attacked another. That's when this car comes plowing in, flipping one person and hitting 3 more.
but we had no idea the severity of the incident until we actually reviewed the video, and it was pretty troubling.
One victim broke his leg, another had to get 3 stitches and 16 staples in the back of her head. Police say the driver of the car is 27-year-old Sheikh Thiam. He was arrested on Friday and is charged with 2 counts of assault with a deadly weapon and attempted murder. Amaro was arrested and charged with 2 counts of felony assault. A plane crash in Alaska has left 1 man dead and 4 others injured. It happened Friday when the plane slammed into the hillside near Point Howard. Now, the Coast Guard was able to track their location when one of the 4 survivors called 911.
The cause of the crash is going to be investigated by the NTSB. They do have personnel who are currently flying in to conduct an investigation.
It's still unclear what went wrong with the plane. Well, nearly 2 years after Islamist militants stormed a Kenyan mall, killing 67 people, it's finally reopening. The world watched as a gunman stormed this busy upscale shopping center. Many of those who survived still bear the scars, but some say the reopening is a victory over terrorism.
If we don't go back or if we give up, these people, they will think that we are weak or we are cowards, but life has to go on. We have to show them that we have courage.
The man believed to be the mastermind of the attack was killed in a drone strike in March near a town in southern Somalia. A war of words between Senator John McCain and presidential hopeful Donald Trump led Trump to dismiss the former Vietnam POW's military service.
He's a war hero.
5.5 years.
He's a war hero because he was captured. I like people that weren't captured, okay? I hate to tell you.
Do you agree with that?
He's a war hero because he was captured.
Yesterday, Trump spoke with a moderator during the Family Leadership Summit in Ames, Iowa. Several of his presidential rivals have slammed Trump's comments, including Rick Perry. He said Trump is unfit to be commander-in-chief and he should leave the presidential race. Trump later backtracked his statement. The British newspaper The Sun has published images of Queen Elizabeth as a little girl performing a Nazi salute. The photo was taken when the Queen was only 6 years old. It shows her mom and 3-year-old sister doing the same. The Queen's uncle, the future King Edward VIII, seems to be encouraging them. The paper describes Edward as a Nazi sympathizer, but says there are no suggestions the Queen ever felt the same.
You cannot find a newspaper more supportive of the royal family than The Sun, but you cannot find a newspaper more keen to publish stories in the public interest than The Sun, and on that occasion that was the responsibility we were seeking to fulfill here.
Buckingham Palace says it's disappointed the Queen's personal archive was exploited this way.